Oh, child. These little bumps on my face. My face is broke out real bad, y'all. But anyway, we are going to talk about it today. Many of you all heard of the. What's wrong with my voice? Many of you all heard of this story about the lady who gave her children away to CPS, gave all five of them to CPS. And I really want to take this time to actually have a dialogue about this whole situation. Um, y'all, my face is broke out. I've been working out. But anyway, when I work out in the summertime, all that oil and dirt and stuff on my face, I've been having bumps all over my face. One reason I ain't been live. But anyway, so this particular lady, her name on Facebook is Amore Lex. On TikTok is Lamborghini Lex. Yeah, throat. And she took her children. Well, actually, she called 911 first. And she let 911 know that she don't want her kids anymore. And she needed some assistance. Now, let's back it up a little bit. How she even got to this point. She, she excuse me. She lives in Columbus, Ohio, right? And they took away her child care. I think she has how many boys? She has three boys and a set of twin girls. Surrounding all they now, mind you, she got five kids. She have three baby daddies. One of the baby daddies is deceased. He's no longer here due to an overdose. Now, that particular child's father's mother believed and still believes to this day from the research, what's up, how you doing? Girl, my face is broke out. But anyway, the mother believes that the baby mama, Lex, had something to do with her son's overdose. I don't know what's true or what's not true because if y'all been watching this girl, y'all know when she do her interviews, she is all over the place. What's up, Meanie Mean? Greetings, Kimmy and Chat. First time here. Hey, girl. Hey. Thank you. I know you probably on lunch, but so anyway, so if y'all been watching the interview with this lady, this girl, she is all over the place when she talk, right? The first time I even heard about this whole situation was on it is true. It is true, Detroit, man. It is. The first time I saw the first time I heard of this story was on Nick at Night's channel. She actually did an almost 3 hour interview. And y'all, the interview was all over the place. Nick at Night, child, she was confused. And I actually thought about bringing this girl on my channel to actually interview her. But as I continued, because I've been researching for several days, as I started to research this girl's story, I'm like, I don't want her on my channel. I'm going to tell y'all why. One, she can't get her thoughts together. Now, the reason why she decided to take those children to turn them over to CPS is because she was like she ain't had no help. She was tired. She say that she was in college. She's in two different colleges. I don't even know how that's possible, but she's in two different colleges and she ain't had no help. It's hard for her to go to work because she don't have any type of daycare. So now y'all know there's been a lot of mothers that have been in the news over the decades where they do something drastic to their kids, whether they drive their car off a cliff, drive it off a bridge. They do something really bad to their kids, and their kids are no longer here anymore. And in turn, sometimes they do stuff to themselves. So they unalive themselves and the children. Well, instead of this girl unaliving herself and her kids, she actually turned them over to CPS. And at first, I had sentiments like everybody else, like, how could you take your kids to CPS? How could you turn your kids? Like, it was people all in this girl comment area because she went live on Facebook a few days ago, and probably about a week ago. She went live on Facebook and she gave people an opportunity. First, she went live on 2 different occasions on Facebook. She petitioned to anybody who would want to help her out of her situation. 2 of her little girls, I believe, are on SSI. One of her little boys, whose father actually passed away, he qualified for survivor benefits, right? So 3 of her kids potentially could receive a check. And she was like, they get food stamps or whatever. She said, I just need an opportunity to get myself together so I could be a better parent for my children. And I could offer my children a better life, right? So she opened it up to people that knows her. She went live all day on May the 4th petitioning for help. She wanted help before she even turned them children over. Then she went live again and she petitioned to the kids' father's family. And she said, look, I'm getting ready to take them to CPS, but if y'all want these children, y'all can have them. Because she said, I'm through with them. And I know many of y'all like, this cannot be true. It's absolutely true. So she called, I guess, another service. So the service was like, well, call 911, tell 911, basically what you told me or whatever. So she dialed 911. The police came out there. Basically, the police was like, I can't help you. If the only reason why that you don't like you want to turn your kids over is because you're tired, that's not a good excuse. Like, you're going to have to physically harm them or something like that for us to take over. So she was like, well, dadgummit. So she went to the fire department because y'all know you can take your kid over to the fire department. They have this thing, I don't know what you call it, but they have this thing where you can take your children over to the fire department, turn them over there, and no questions asked. So she went to the fire department. Mind you, she has 5 kids. They range from age 11 all the way, I believe, to 2, I think. Take them to the fire department. I guess they call the police. They in turn get in contact with CPS, and the police officer trails her over to CPS. So while she's at CPS, y'all, she go live again, and she petitioned the kid's father's family. She's like, look, I'm at CPS at such and such Main Street. If y'all want these kids, and it sounds weird to me because I'm like, she was just at her wit's end, baby. She was just like, look, if y'all want these kids, y'all can come down and get them. But she said, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm checked out. Like pretty much it's over with. Y'all better come get these kids, basically. People in a live telling her like you can use this services. She was like, look, I have tried everything. I've tried everything. I've exhausted all the help that I can get from different services. I'm at the best place that I can be right now. So she talking to the lady at CPS, and they like, she's basically telling her story to the lady at CPS live where all of us can hear it, y'all. And she basically telling them, she's trying to do what's best for her kids. She said, pretty much, she like, and y'all, I know it sounds harsh, but she right, because all men don't do this, but a lot of men check out. And they like, you fool with them kids. I got my own life over here. You fool with them. So basically, she like, no, I'm checking out. If they can check out, I'm going to check out. And she said, I'm going to get myself together. I commend her for not hurting her babies, because so many people out here are hurting children. So many people. Y'all, just here alone in Mississippi, I know of a lot of people that have hurt their children. And maybe things would be better if they would just turn their kids over to somebody that actually are there to provide for them, to take care of them and love them. Now, she's saying that she's going to go get her kids back and she's going to do whatever she can to get her kids back. Do I believe her? I don't know. I don't know. I think like some videos had came out, y'all, and that's why I went live, because I want to talk to y'all about this. Some videos had came out where she had recorded a few years back when she was pregnant with her twins, and she was pretty much saying she don't want the babies. She ain't want to be pregnant. And I'm just like, whoa, like, it sounds so freaking harsh. And then I started thinking that Peach McIntyre. I got candy in my mouth. I started thinking about Peach McIntyre, and I'm like, it's so many of us that are hard on Peach. Hear me out. Y'all don't come for me in the comment area. So many of us are hard on Peach, myself included. But when I saw this particular woman, this lady, this girl, got 5 children, no help, no support, no child care, no nothing. And she broke it down. Like, if you watch the videos, you can hear her talking about when her twins were babies and she didn't have no diapers, she didn't have no wipe, and she called one of the fathers and she just like, I don't want no money, but can you please go buy a case of diapers and a pack of wipes for these babies? She said, I don't have gas to go around to these different agencies to try to seek help. I don't have gas to do it. But can you please go buy a pack? Y'all, that broke my heart. I'm like, dang, she ain't asking for no money. All she wanted was a pack of diapers. And pretty much the baby daddy was like, stop calling me. Like, stop calling me. So I'm thinking about Peach, and I'm like, man, Peach got 7 kids? You might as well say she got 8 kids because she got Wood too. Although I know many of y'all like, that's something Peach want to do. But Peach has not exposed her kids, as far as I know, to that sort of environment the way this lady was talking. Like, that's extreme. Like, her kids didn't have food. I'm talking about this particular lady dropped her kids off. Her kids didn't have food. You could tell she was hungry. She was skinny as I don't know what. And I'm like, she got these 5 babies. And yet and still, she trying to do what she know to be what's best for them by dropping them off to CPS. And here's social media out here calling CPS on Peach McIntyre because they think she not a good mama. I don't know. But it's y'all, it's just so crazy. I know it's hard out there being a mama, and a lot of people was in that girl comment area. They was like, if you don't want kids, why you just didn't keep your legs closed? Pretty much. I think if you are able to turn over your kids like that, you shouldn't be able to conceive any more children. Motherhood should be a wrap. Yes! You know what? I agree. I absolutely agree. Like, really and truly, this opens up for a discussion, and it may seem harsh, but if you already got 2 kids on the system, that'll make it to where you are on, either you get your tubes tied or you do something, because you can't keep bringing kids into this world and you're not gonna provide for them and take care of them. Or, like, for instance, and I could talk about this from personal experience. If you already got 1 child in the system, why are you having more babies? If you already have 1 child, like say if your child got tragically hurt due to your negligence, they should make it where you can't have no more babies. Why are you out here still having babies? And like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Or, for instance, like if you are on some type of drug or whatever, when you're pregnant with a child, they need to make it when you do have that baby, you can't have no more babies. If you're not responsible enough to stay off of drugs and not drink, you don't need no babies. You don't need to get pregnant. That's just my opinion. Yes, I agree because kids don't deserve to be in foster home, and there's nothing like a real family. I totally agree. And there were some other people that were commenting in that girl's comment area, and they was like, because the next day, here's the kicker. Thanks Sylvia for deleting that comment. I don't even know what it was. But there was some people. So the next day, the girl made a post. And I wish I was on my laptop so I could show y'all, but the girl made a post and she said she wanted to start a GoFundMe. She wanted to start a GoFundMe, and the money that is raised off the GoFundMe, she wanted to put the money in a trust. So if there was any banker reading her post, could they contact her? And there was a lady that commented. She said, you should have thought about that before you gave your kids up. Because she said, you done gave them kids up, they're going to split them up. It is really, foster parents pretty much don't want 5 kids, especially 5 siblings, because most of the time a foster parent already have a child in their home. Sometimes they can only take 1 or 2 kids, let alone 5 kids. So the lady was saying that they're pretty much going to split her kids up. The siblings won't be together. She told her, she was just like, you should have thought about that before you took them kids down to CPS. And I know a lot of people say woulda, shoulda, coulda, but you know what? If that girl would have unalived those kids that day, the same people that was making them comments would have more to say after then. To me, given the choices that girl made in life, which was some pretty bad choices. If y'all go and watch that video from Neek at night and watch her girl's interview, trust and believe, after 45 minutes of watching it, y'all gonna be like, what in the world? Even Neek was confused. But you gonna see it was like a ripple effect. It was one bad decision after the next. And it's like, how in the world, why in the world would this girl continue to have babies? I just don't understand. Somebody else said, kids should only be for married people. I agree. But you know what? C. Brown, I was a single parent. I was not married when I had my first daughter. My first child, I was not married. Was it hard? Heck yeah, it was hard. But you know what? I had a village around me, and I had my parents who helped. Was her father involved? Heck no. And I met him in the military. He was one of the star soldiers. Met him in the military, and he was a bum. He was an absolute bum. My daughter is a chemical engineer now. I'm super proud of my daughter, and it was a collective effort from a lot of people. But was I out there partying and stuff? Heck no, I was working my butt off. Working my butt off to be a great mother to my daughter. Did I spend a lot of time with my daughter? No, because I had to work. I had to work and make a living for her, and to make sure she had the best possible resources to make it. I paid for gymnastics. I paid for her to go to private school, to college preparatory schools. Like, I did what I had to do. I did without, in order that my daughter could have, and could have the best possible chance to be the best person. And right now, she's thriving. She's thriving. But my second child, I'm married. Is it easier? A whole lot easier. And I can focus on being a mother instead of being a mama and a daddy. But I totally agree. Kids definitely should only be conceived in marriage. But sin happens, because I did it. Let's see. Yes, most likely with that, many kids with the siblings will be separated And that is traumatizing for them. Very traumatizing. I felt so bad. I was just like, dang, her baby's going to be separated. Like, it's going to be extremely hard for her to get her children back. Because I was watching this video, this new YouTuber out there who had got her children taken away, and she had gotten pregnant. And so when she had this particular baby, Child Protective Services stepped in and they took her baby from the hospital. So she actually and I cannot remember the girl's name. When I get off a lot, I'll make sure I share her videos on my community tab. But I commend this girl because she not only went through all the programs CPS required for her so she can get her child back. Like, she worked with the foster care mom. Like, she did everything that she could in order for her to get her baby back. And she ended up getting her baby back, which is hard. Kids are tough but fun. Takes help for sure. Definitely. Joseph said, thanks for all you do. You're welcome. Kid, listen, it ain't easy out here being no mama. It's not easy being a parent. And shout out to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to you all. I did not go live over the past few days. I was actually spending time with my family and my mother and my husband and my child, because Jazz didn't come home. But the baby boy was here. But it's hard being a parent. There is no rule guide to how we're supposed to take care of our children. Now, the Bible teaches us a lot of things, but there is no like, don't do this, do this first. It's trial and error. And every child is not alike. For those of you all have multiple children, raising your children, trust me, the way I raised Jazz is definitely not the way I raised Caden. Completely opposite. They're two different people. Let's see. Hold on, let me get my glasses, y'all. I know I can't see. She said, hold on, now that's tiny. Let me see what she said. She said, kids should be considered when you get your money up. You know what? With children, you can plan for kids. Planning is great. Planning is absolutely great. But one thing I know is money is a tool. Money creates opportunities. But as long as you love your children and remember, we had talked about what love is and what love encompasses. As long as you truly love your children, you will do what's best for them. And that doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to have all the money. Even when my parents raised us, we didn't have all the money. Like, I could remember going to school and my friends and stuff would have all different types of clothes and Jordans and gang. Man, we didn't have that. Mm-mm. We didn't have, I never had a pair of Jordans. I never even bought myself a pair of Jordans. I've never bought any of my children Jordan. I'm going to tell you where I bought Caiden Jordans from. Goodwill. They were brand new, but I got them from Goodwill. But my parents didn't focus on that. Now we had food to eat. It may not have been everything we wanted to eat. Like, I knew a lot of my friends had food stamps, and they got like all different types of snacks. We ain't had that, but we had meals. My mom cooked 3 meals a day. Do we have sodas and all that? No. We had, listen, tea was for Sundays, and it would be sun tea. And then we will have orange juice for breakfast, and we will have water and milk. But anything else, like Kool-Aid, we ain't make no Kool-Aid. We ain't have all that. But my parents loved me, and they focused on things that matter. Like, they made sure we had a nice home. They made sure that I didn't have holes in my clothes. They may not have been designer clothes and name brand clothes, but I ain't had no holes in my clothes. I didn't have no messed up shoes. They may not have been Jordans, but they were nice shoes. So You can never have enough money with children because something will always come up. Something will always come up. But I think with children, you have to learn how to prioritize. You really do. Like, do I go get my nails done, or do I make sure that my child have what they need? Do I go get my hair done, talking about me as a mother, or do I make sure my children have what they need? I'm going to make sure my kids have what they need. I'm going to make sure my son and my daughter, when she was little, I'm going to make sure she have clothes on her back. I'm going to make sure there's food for her to eat. I'm going to make sure everything that she needs is available. I never was on assistance with my daughter or my son. Never. But I worked my daggone butt off. And I think a lot of the problem today is, one, young people don't want to work. And then if they do want to work, they don't have the support to be able to work hard because, I guess if you on TANF or you on a system or whatever, then they make it available where you can have childcare, I guess. But from what this particular lady was talking about, the reason why she gave up her 5 kids is because they cut her childcare off. So she couldn't work. So I don't know. She said, having kids require a balance of love, spirituality, environment, and provision. A support system is girl, very crucial. Very crucial. And everything you said absolutely is correct. A balance of love, spirituality, environment, and provision. That was a great comment. Mean. Dora in 43 years. I don't know what that means. Blade FTW said, I believe gentle parenting is the best way, even if it takes a lot of practice. So I believe it depends on the child. Do I gentle parent Caiden? Heck no. He's a boy. Caiden is stubborn. I do not gentle parent him. Now, I will tell him, you better get your little act together. I'm going to tear you up. And I mean that. I will tear you up. Because I'm going to tell you something. Even at school, they will spank my child. If he get on the white light, which is a bad light, at the beginning of the school year, they send a paper home and ask you, will you allow the school to paddle him? Heck yeah, you can paddle him because, listen, I never was paddled in school, but I remember the time when I could have been paddled. And I believe it depends on each child. Like my daughter. I could tell my daughter, I'm going to tear you up. Or just talk to her harshly. And she was straighten up. But Caiden, on the other hand, oh no, that ain't going to work for Caiden. Each child is different. I'm not saying that you beat your children. Beating is a no-no. If you are angry and you call yourself want to spank your child, that is an absolute no-no. Don't even do it. And I'm not even advising for people to spank their children. It depends on how you raise your children. Now, according to the law, you're allowed to paddle your children on the buttocks. But if your paddling starts to become excessive and you are leaving marks on your child or you're angry, that's no longer discipline. That's abuse. You should never abuse your children. And you have to do what's allowed within the law. That's just my opinion. My opinion may differ from other people's. I don't know. Now I don't have to spank Caiden. I really got him when he was smaller. And I didn't really have to get him because not real bad. But I do know when a child gets to a certain age, if you have not started discipline when they come out the womb, and discipline is different. Discipline does not always mean you spank your children. You can take things away from your child. Even when they're small, you can do, positive reinforcement. There are different forms of discipline. Everything does not have to end with the spanking. It's all different forms of discipline. Positive reinforcement, you can divert their attention to something else. You can, all different types of things. If you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. Everything does not. And some children, you don't even have to fuss at some children. You can just talk to a child. Because each child is different. You can just talk to him. Like my little nephew. I don't have to spank him. He listens to me more than anybody. I don't have to spank him. I just have a conversation with him. Like, come here, let's talk about it. He's 2. Let's talk about it. What did you do? Why did you do it? How did that make you feel? Was it wrong? He understands that too. She said, who cares? Well, listen, I'm going to put you in timeout. You ain't got to care, baby. You ain't even got to be over here. Bye. Let's see, preach. Gentlemen in the chat, please watch your comments. Y'all better listen to her because she don't play no games. That's my sister. And she my older sister. She don't play. She see it before I do. And she on her break right now. So y'all thank the moderator. She is on her break. She's a school teacher. He said, what's going on? Never, not once have I ever to lay my hands on my children in that way. I raised them with discipline, communication, and respect. Not fear, not hands, love, and hugs and direction. And Nikki Sawyers, that's your child. I'm raising a little boy. And yes, I have spanked my child before. I spanked my daughter when she was small. Did it make her a great person? Great person. Like I said, my daughter's a chemical engineer right now. I never abuse my children. Either one of them would never abuse my children. I love my children, and I talk to my child, to both of them. I communicate with them. We express respect, but each child is different. And culturally, when we talk about discipline, culturally, little Johnny could be disciplined a little different than my little boy. So let's talk about it culturally, right? So let's talk about little Johnny. Let's say little Johnny is a Caucasian little boy. Little Johnny never is gentle parenting. Little Bobby, he's an African-American little boy. Little Bobby is raised differently culturally than little Johnny. Now, let's say little Johnny and Bobby grow up to be teenagers. Say 18 years old. And they get stopped by the police. Same situation. One is black, one is white. Little Johnny, more than likely, say if the same police officer, more than likely, especially if it's down south, more than likely, little Johnny probably is going to get away with a slap on the hand. But if little Bobby comes up and he's a tall black guy, let's say he's a George Floyd, okay? And let's say if little Bobby never did drugs was not drunk like George Floyd, the situation was completely different and the situation heightens up or whatever. The police officer, what I'm trying to say is the police officer is going to deal with Bobby, little Bobby, because little Bobby is big Bobby now, going to deal with them completely differently. Culturally, it's just... If you have never raised an African-American child, and I'm not saying that they can't be raised with gentle parenting, and I'm not even going to put it at white and black. You know that? Because I live in the South, and I see a lot of Caucasian people tear their kids all the way up. Tear them at the frame. You bet. And it had me looking like, oh, snap, I'll be clutching my pearls. Like, oh, my God. No, they didn't. I've never, you know, but I mean, children are different. They're different. They're just absolutely different. You cannot raise each child the same. Kids, even with learning, they learn differently. Some people, you can sit there and you can just read a book. They got it. Some other little children have to be hands-on. Some other little kids, they have to have visual things to learn. You know, everybody is not different. And what works for your child, who is that? Nikki, may not work for mine. May not work. My little boy, gentle parent ain't gonna work with him. Not gonna work. You know why? Because Caden gonna try you. He gonna try you. He is absolutely gonna try you. And if he know you don't mean business, oh no, 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 no. I was the same way with my dad. Gentle parenting wouldn't work for me. It would not have worked for me. Would not have worked. I was hard-headed. I knew it all. And you had to let me know that you meant business. Once you let me know that, oh, I'm going to back down. I'm going to be a good little girl. It's just different. It's just different. I don't know how we got on discipline. We was talking about the lady who dropped her children off. Keep it up. You are doing well as a mom. I do the best that I can as a mom. I'm not a perfect mother, but I make sure that I give my child, not children, because my daughter's grown now, but my little boy, I give him what he needs, whether it's love, respect, communication. We communicate all the time. I do what I can for Caden. I've never raised a little boy before. It's totally different than raising a little girl. Totally different. Like my daughter, I would pick her up from school, or when the bus would drop her off and we would talk about her day at school, she would talk. I knew everything that happened in that classroom. But Caden, on the other hand, that's not so. I had to find what type of questions to ask him to get my information out, because he's not willing to just give me everything. I have to ask him precise questions like, who did you sit by on lunch today? What made you happy in school? What made you sad? Now, I'm 47 years old. The way I parented my daughter is definitely not the way I parent Caden. Definitely not. Because when Jasmine was little, mind you, I was in the military. I was drill sergeant. I'm not like that. I'm very soft-hearted now. I do more talking than anything. We communicate about a lot of things. And my husband has never disciplined Caden. Not one time. Not one time. He threatened him. He ain't gonna do nothing. He not gonna do anything. I'm the disciplinarian. But like I said, I'm older now. So it's a lot of talking now. Caden used to get some spankings when he was little. But he's older now. He's 6 years old. Why? I mean, pretty much his personality, everything about Caden has already been formed. Already formed. He's set to who he's going to be now. Now, when he was younger, I could mold a lot of things, but not now. He's set. But Caden is a great little boy. Very sweet, kind-hearted little boy. Very sweet. Let's see. Door this floor. You calling me door this floor? Child, don't worry about it. I'm going to do my hair this weekend, and I'm going to be back to who I was. I'm listening to the young lady talk about her choice to give up her children. Her choice makes sense, but something is off for me. Peach needs to stop putting her 2 seconds in. She had bigger problems. You know what? I agree. I agree that the lady made a great choice. I really do, because it's better for her to give her children up and put them in a better environment. Because if you heard the girl talk, something is off. I don't know what it is. And like, something is off, man. And those kids was hungry. Why were they hungry? I have no idea. Because with 5 kids, you getting food stamps. But she did talk about she would use her food stamps for bartering. Like if she needed a babysitter, she would tell them, I'll give you $150 in food stamps. Now, y'all know you ain't supposed to do that. But hey, y'all know people do it all the time. I'll give you $150 in food stamps, and then when I get paid, I'll give you the rest in cash, whatever. So maybe that's why they ain't had no money. I mean, no food. But something is definitely off mentally. I don't know if she's on some type of substance. I don't know. Now, she did talk about she was on that that powder in 2017. She talked about her doing that, but she says she's not on anything right now, which, I mean, I don't know. I do know, for those of you all who want to hear this girl's interview, baby, she is doing interviews with everybody. Like I said, I thought about doing an interview with her, but I figured if I did an interview with her, she would drive me nuts. Because you can ask her a question and she does not flat out answer the question with an answer. It's like this long, drawn out story that has nothing to do with the question you asked her. And it's like, what? Huh? So, my question to her was, she spoke about on Nick at Night, when she gave her the interview, and she talked about her middle child's father, his mother said that she was responsible for his death. And I could not understand that. She just kept going around and round and round in circles. And I could not understand, how could you be responsible for his death when he was not at your home? He was in someone else's driveway. Allegedly, someone else sold him the drugs. And when they found him, he was not responsive. And they kept him on life support for 2 days, but he was already brain dead. So why? I could not understand that, to save my life. And I'm not sure what Peach has said about the situation, because I have not looked at Peach probably since Friday. Might have been Thursday. I've not been focused on Peach. I have not looked anything on her channel, so I have no clue. This is kind of sus. I don't know what you mean by sus, but I really, if you're trying to say that girl is suspect, like, I really think she did the best thing for her children. Instead of hurting them, harming them. And that goes for anybody out there. If you feel like you cannot be a mom to your children and you are just fed up, you are completely fed up, the best thing for you to do is do the same thing that girl did. Do not keep your children and harm them. Because kids are innocent. There are too many people out here that want children, and you're not God. It's not up to you to determine when that child expires. Our first child teaches us a lot in our first child teaches us a lot in parenting and prepares us for the second child. I guess, but me, by the time I had my second child, my daughter was already 18. So it was 18 years apart. So, baby, I had forgotten everything. It was like I was just starting over as a new parent all over again. Completely new. But I guess so. I guess you're right, especially if you have them back to back or some years apart. I guess so. Let's see. I thought going to CPS, they would have to help her to keep her children. So, Buttercream, actually, CPS, okay. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl, for moderating for me. I appreciate it. I just saw your comment. Well, CPS actually told her that their goal is to reunify the mother and the child. But you do know there are a lot of hoops you got to go through to get your kids, like classes, drug tests, all different types of stuff. So, who is she talking about? I'm actually talking about, her name is, you got to go back to the beginning of the video. Drugs and fentanyl. Right. Right. You're right. Um, Priscilla Cooper. First of all, I'm reading comments and I'm responding to them. And just because I cannot see I'm just coming up on yours and you said read your messages, I'm not going to read them as soon as you type them because you're not the only one in the comment area, but I appreciate it. Who are you talking about? Did you read the title of the video about the girl who gave up her 5 children? I said that at the beginning of the video. The girl who gave up her 5 kids took them to CPS. I'm not going to go through the whole story all over again. Some random girl. She ain't that random. Baby, she went viral. And everybody has interviewed her from, I don't know if Hollywood Unlocked is getting ready to interview her. Nick at Night has interviewed her. Talks with Turkey. I think his interview is going to drop. 107.5, I think that's a radio station out of Columbus, Ohio, and a whole bunch of other people have, like, small channels, have interviewed her. I thought about interviewing her myself, but I'm not paying for no interview, and 2, she's saying the same thing on every interview, so I mean, her story is pretty much saturated over the internet now. It went viral on TikTok, went viral on Facebook. So, yeah. 18 years, yeah. You was a new mama again. A straight new mama. It's 18 years apart between my son and my daughter. Do you play Fortnite? In some case, the first child to help sometimes is still hard. Um, Man, it's just crazy. I mean, whoever know about this situation between us with this girl, like, my heart went out to her for real. Because even when she was at CPS and she was doing what was best for her children, it sounded selfish. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, it sounded selfish because she was just like, I want to do what's best for my kids because I want to work on my career and I want to get money and I want to do this. And it was just like, instead of her saying, I want to put my kids in a better situation because they don't have food, because the choices I've made have impact. She wasn't talking like that. It was just like what she want to do. And ever since she dropped them kids off, baby, she been making her rounds doing interviews. Like, she go live on Facebook all the time. I'm just like, whoa. And the more I watched her videos, the more I was like, you know what? She did what was best for those kids. She did, because she don't have no help. And just think, if she would have done something to harm those kids, it would have been a totally different story. Totally different story. The difference between her and Peach McIntyre is Peach has the resources to give her children a better life. Peach has the resources to have childcare, babysitters, but Peach make terrible decisions to where she go to the casino and gamble up all her money. Like, I don't know how much Peach is making on social media, but she make enough to provide for 7 kids. Rose said, I don't want kids. Wow. Wow. Hey, at least you honest, Rose. At least you honest. If you don't want them, don't bring them in the world. Because, honey, you might as well kiss your life goodbye. Because when you bring a child in this world, it's no longer about you anymore. You have to do what's best for your children. Always. In every decision that you make, you have to do what's best for your children. You have to put your children and better situations. And it's hard. You know what? I was reading the comments up underneath the video that the girl had done, right? And you will be surprised how many ladies was girls commenting underneath that video was like, I feel just like you. You know, I'm fed up and I don't have food. I don't have money and I got to take care of my kids. And I was just like, wow, you just never know. I'm going to put you in timeout because see, you just want attention. They just want attention. But you just never know what mothers go through. You just don't. It's like, listen, I was a single parent, right? And I could remember working 2 jobs, 2 full-time jobs, and coming home from work, y'all. And I'll be so freaking tired, y'all. I'll be so exhausted. And all I had time to do was take my shower or take my bath, eat, and go to bed. And I had Jasmine. And it was a lot of times. I'm not saying what I did was right, but for Jazz was in middle school. And Jazz was getting herself ready in the morning because I had to be at work at 5:30 in the morning. She would get herself ready and she would get on that bus. It was times where she was sick and she had to stay at home by herself. There were even times on the weekends when I would have to work 16, 17 hours at night. And Jazz would have to stay at home by herself because I didn't have money to pay for childcare. And I made too much money to get assistance. And I paid a lot for the place that we lived, but I wanted to live in a place where I wouldn't have to worry about her when I go to work. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, you left your daughter at home. I did because I had to work. And the job that I had was in a whole nother state. I had no family around where I lived. And I had no help. And I just thank God that I had a responsible little girl. I never helped Jazz with her homework. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, Brandon. Thank you so much. But I never, y'all, I'm telling you, it was hard. I prayed. I'm so grateful that my daughter turned out the way she did because when I took the job that I had, which was a better job and I was making way more money, I moved to a whole nother state. I had no one to help me. And I thank God every single day that I had a very smart daughter who was able to help herself with her homework, to make sure she got her homework done, to make sure that she got like whatever, because Jazz was a straight A student. Not because it was something I had done. It's because she was a great daughter. She was a great kid. And now when I raised Caiden, and it kind of made me sad because now I'm married and I'm able to spend that time with Caiden. So for those of you all who say, oh, she take her baby to McDonald's every morning. Oh, she does this. I try to spend a lot of time with my little boy because for you parents out there, my case is an exception. Everybody's situation don't turn out like mine. Everybody does not raise rock stars like I raise. She's an amazing, when I tell you my daughter, she is a scientist at Procter and Gamble. She has her own consulting business. Like Jazz is doing the thing. And she ain't even 25 years old. And sis makes 6 figures already. And she ain't even 25. But it could have turned out differently. Like she could have been pregnant. She could have got pregnant and as a teenager. Somebody, a number of things could have happened to her that it didn't. I just thank God every single day for watching over her and for putting mentors in her life that was able to help structure who she is as a person today. Because it could not have turned out the way that it did. So now, with Caden, my 6-year-old, I spend a lot of time with him. I dedicate my time to Caden. Before he goes to school, I got all types of books in the car. Child, we read on the way to school. We do flashcards. We do all types of lessons on the way to school. Then when he gets out of school, we do the same exact thing. And I just do what I can. And I'm pretty much at his beck and call because I was not able to do that for Jasmine because I had to work. I had to work. I had to work hard too, y'all. Really hard. And I'm not the only one. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of mothers out here had to do the same thing I did. I'm sorry to hear about your brother. If you're not spamming. But shout out to all the mothers that have sacrificed so much for their children. And because being a mother out here, like when I think about mothers, remember that story in the Bible? It was about, dang it, what was that story in the Bible, y'all? I just watched a daggone show about it. What was that story in the Bible about? Okay. I guess they came back. I hate to have to put him in timeout, but he gone now. What was that story in the Bible where was it King Solomon? I cannot think of this story where he was going around killing babies. The king was killing the babies, the firstborn, right? And the handmaiden, I think it was a handmaiden, she had a baby. And she put her baby in the basket. Who was that? Who was it? Y'all, can I think? She put her baby in the basket because she did not want her baby to get killed by the king. So she put her baby in a basket on the Nile, and the baby goes, floats downstream. There was another little child who was watching the baby the whole time. I cannot think of the story. So anyway, the king's sister, who actually had lost her baby, she lost her baby, and they were like having a little ceremony or whatever by the Nile River. Because, back then they said the Nile taketh and the Nile would give as well. So they was having a ceremony, the king's sister, and she heard this baby in these bushes. So she went over there and she saw a baby in a basket. And she took the baby. And she raised the baby as her own. What was the name of that? Oh, what was the name of that story? Was it Moses? It was Moses. It was baby Moses. It was I see your comment. He said, I had to give up my job because of the daycare. It became unsafe. My children were small. You know what? That's the same thing that lady was saying, that there was jobs and stuff that she couldn't take because she didn't have childcare. Buttercream said Moses. It was Moses. What was the king's name? Moses, King. What's his name? Was it Fit? Who was it? I cannot think. Y'all don't even know I can't think. It wasn't King Solomon. Was it Pharaoh? Was it Pharaoh, y'all? I can't think. By the Cain, what you talking about? Story of Moses. That's it. I can't think of the king's name. Oh, what was the king's name? It had to be Pharaoh. Was it Pharaoh? I cannot think of the story. I cannot think of the story, y'all. But anyway, I thought that was really that was like that unconditional love that you would have for your children, knowing that if you keep your child, something bad will happen to your child. So you give your child up and you pray to God that the decision that you make to give your child up will be the best decision for the child, just like Moses. It's a good story. So I commend the lady that gave her 5 kids up. I do. I commend her for doing that instead of having more damage to her children for staying with her. Because she does seem mentally unstable. But you know what? Being stressed out and being at your wits' end will make you seem crazy than a mug. So maybe she was at, shoot, 5 kids is a lot. I couldn't handle 3, let alone 5. And 2 of the kids are twins, and I believe, I don't know if they're 2 or 3. That's a lot. That's a lot. So for you single mothers out there, don't give up. It's hard. It is so hard. I do know different states, different cities offer different things. Like sometimes they have different programs where they will keep your kids like a Friday night for so many hours, and it's like a free service, and they feed your kids and you can go out and do whatever you need to do. Just try to get help. Before you do something drastic, for those mothers out there who are at their wits' end, before you do something drastic, make sure you talk to someone, whether you call, I don't know. I don't know all the services. Maybe health department. I don't know. I don't know all the services. But I couldn't even tell you all the services because I don't know. Child, I ain't had no help with jazz. So anyway, you guys, child, I tell you, spam. No, they be coming up in my comment area. Y'all love me spam. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I don't know if y'all want me to interview this girl. Her name is Lex. If y'all want me to interview her, I'll reach out to her. I don't know if that's something I want to do, but if the people want to hear it, I'll do an interview with her. I will. Just let me know if that's something y'all want. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Kimmies World. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you have your notification bells turned on. Y'all know I really haven't been going live or whatever, or either and posting reels. I said I was going to back off from TikTok a little bit, because who knows, TikTok owe me a coin. They ain't paid me yet. So until they pay me, I ain't doing no more videos over there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Y'all have a great rest of your day. And I'll see y'all in the comment area. Peace out.